Welcome back to Barometer. We have the events manager of DCU's Africa Sock with us today. This is Fiona.
Hi guys.
Fiona. How's it going? How are all things Africa Sock this year?
Well, so far we've had a good few events. Our first event was an EGM, which every basic society does, where you nominate a few new members to your committee and you introduce the current committee.
So what are the numbers like this year?
We're actually surprised by the response we're getting this year. Last year was my first year in DCU, so I was new to the whole society thing.
Okay.
So I never took part in anything. But this year I said, why not?
It's the meteoric rise.
I was like, what the hey? So in the 2 years I've been in DCU, and I've been part of Africa Sock since I joined DCU, a lot has happened this year. People are very positive. There's a lot of numbers. And as a committee, we're really impressed by all the people coming down and showing us love, really.
Yeah.
It's great. And we really look forward to the more events we have, because a lot of people are excited. They keep asking us, when's your next event?
Yeah. So what sort of events I know you're planning a fashion show. Can you tell me a little about that?
Well, our fashion show is our biggest event ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All throughout the years, it's always been the biggest event in DCU Africa. It's on the 13th of November, which is a Friday, and the fashion show is called DCU Africa Presents Black Magic.
Okay.
So to incorporate the whole Friday the 13th theme, we decided to go with Black Magic. Black Magic, like when people hear it, they're like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So basically, we're just trying to, every possible idea you could have about Black Magic, we're putting it into the show.
Okay.
We don't want to give out too much, so if you want to find out, come to the show.
Oh, this is just an advertisement here.
If you want to find out, come to the show. I'll advise that. But we have the Miss Nigeria 2014.
Okay.
Her name is Oyin. She is our head stylist for the show. We reached out to her because, to be honest, none of us know that much about running a fashion show.
Yeah.
And for such a big event, we obviously wanted to go really, really well. So at the moment, she's the head stylist. She's contacting designers for us. She's also teaching our models how to walk. She's also going to provide us with a lot of help throughout the whole day. So we're really, really, really happy to have her on board, because we would be lost without her.
Yeah, exactly. And are you working along with any other societies like Photo Sock or Style Sock?
We've reached out to Dance Sock to help us with our interval as well. We've also reached out to DJ Sock, because you need some music.
Of course.
And we've reached out to MPS as well. So we're looking forward to that event. It's jam-packed. I'll let you know that.
Exactly, yeah. And how much are the tickets actually?
Okay, so if you're a member of DCU Africa, it's €5. If you're not, it's €7. And at the door on the day of the event, it's going to be €10.
Okay, that's
and
perfect.
It's in the venue.
In the venue in DCU.
Yeah,
Okay, so was that hard to book out actually?
Yeah, you should be seeing posters around by now. The posters are very eye catching. So
of course, yeah. Well, of course we're all home for reading week this week, but we'll be back next week, and we'll look out for them anyway. So, what other events have you got planned for the year?
We've had a good few events, but the upcoming events, we're going to have a Princess of Africa Day. So basically, sorry guys, but it's for girls only. You're going to come in and we're going to dress you in different African attire with the beads and the headgear. We're going to do your makeup, and we're going to take professional photos of you just for you to take home that day.
Okay.
To be an African princess for an hour or two. That's something fun.
The guys already had the brochure, so.
Exactly. So this is the girls' day.
Yeah.
What else do we have? We have an Afrobeat dance tutorial. Because when people think of Africa, I'm sure dance comes to mind. So we're going to have a day to teach people the different dances that we have in Africa and stuff like that. We also have a food fair coming up with Global Brigades. Global Brigades.
Yeah.
All proceeds go to charity, obviously.
Yeah.
So fruits from different parts of Africa, because Africa is a very big place, and the north of Africa is completely different to the west of Africa. So it's nice to get a different feel. Actually, during the Clothes and Socks week, somebody asked me if there's a trip to Africa if you join the society.
Good luck.
So I told them, unfortunately, that's very expensive. So what our aim is to do is to bring Africa to you.
Yeah.
So we do that through all our various events. We have a games night, we have a movie night. We just try our best. Unfortunately, we can't pay €700 for each person.
Of course, yeah.
To go to
and
Africa.
How regularly do these the smaller events happen? The more regular events?
We have an event every week.
Okay.
It's tiring being events manager, but
of course.
It has to be done. It's every week, so it's something that the society looks forward to. And there's also free food at every single event if anyone's interested in coming down to any of them.
Pizza is always always a great draw, isn't it?
Exactly.
Oh, thanks very much for coming on to the show, Fiona.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll look forward to the fashion show. What date is it on again?
It's Friday the 13th. Show starts at 6:30 in the venue.
Yes,
Tickets are available at the door.
Okay, thanks very much. I hope you have good luck. It looks like it'll be a fantastic event that we won't want to miss. And I think we'll wrap it up with that. I'd like to give a big thanks to the team putting in the hard yards for the arts. Kate, Steve, Katie, Sophie and Aura. Thanks to Niamh for dropping in, and thanks to Africa Sock and Pluto's Defenders for letting us know what's going on in the world and beyond. Well, right now we have Mark Kelly from DCU's New Society Animal and Nature Sock. How are you, Mark?
Hey Ryan, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Have a good day?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Well, first, will you speak to us about Animal and Nature Sock?
Yeah.
You set up this society for people who love animals and nature, obviously. Yeah. Did you find there was much of a desire for this beforehand?
I didn't. I kind of bandied the idea about it. I discussed it with probably close friends and I threw it up, and I was getting a kind of positive enough feedback. And when I first came to DCU, I think the first thing I looked for on the societies list when I was coming in was a wildlife society or a nature society, and it wasn't there. So I thought, I'm in my final year now, and I can probably, give back a bit to DCU and give back a bit to nature and set this up. So.
And I think now there's two, isn't there? There's an environment sock as well.
There's a which sock, sorry?
There's an environment
eco sock.
Eco sock, that's what it is. What do you think distinguishes between you and eco sock?
I haven't really don't know what eco sock do per se. I've only seen a quick thing on Facebook. I haven't seen too much. I don't really know what they do. I'll have to look into it. But in terms of what we'll be doing, we'll be just promoting a love of nature, promoting a love of animals, that kind of thing.
That's fine. They're just pretenders. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, sorry.
So what got you interested in the natural world anyway in the first place?
I don't know. I think I always growing up, I was always a lover of animals and pets and stuff like that. And then when I start growing up, and then I'm an atheist too, and I think that probably really pushed my love of nature as well, just in terms of. But yeah, I think just growing up, it just naturally came to me, and now I'm in awe by nature would be my first love, and science and animals and stuff. They'd all be, makes me in awe pretty much every single time I think about it, really.
Yeah. So what are your aims and goals for the year? What kind of events?
In terms of events, we're gonna be going on regular kind of hiking trips and maybe a bit of camping. We're hoping for a weekend trip down to a safari park down in Cork, and then maybe trek along the Wild Atlantic Way. And just in terms of for the overall society, obviously you have one eye probably on Best New Society in DCU, hopefully, and then but at the same time I just want people to not to take it too seriously. I want people to have fun. I've told that to our committee members. I just want them, just enjoy your year. Don't be taking it too seriously. Don't be getting stressed out by it. Just go have fun. And the same with the members. I just want them to have a bit of a fun society on the side that people don't take too seriously, because I think society life in DCU, a lot of people can get caught up in it and it can overcome their lives. I just want to have something there on the side that people can go to, maybe getting a little trip away to Glendalough, clear the mind kind of thing,
Sounds like a great mantra to have anyway. Yeah. So what was the reaction like on Clubs and Societies Day?
We got about 80 or 90 members, which is not bad for a new society. We were thinking about maybe 50 members. We were thinking maybe 40 or 50 for the whole week, and then we nearly got that in the first day. So, wow. And that was without a lot of promotion. We kind of, again, I suppose that kind of laid back nature can kind of take its toll on you when you're not really prepared. But we weren't promoting stuff. We weren't handing out free things or anything like that. So obviously that would have helped us a little bit. But we're happy enough with the 90 members. But yeah, we could have done more. But we'll take it.
You said you had a laid back atmosphere there. So are you going to try and grow the society in semester 2, or how would you?
I'm happy because with kind of camping trips and stuff like that, or hiking trips, you're kind of limited in numbers how many you can bring. So it's usually like 30 or 50 at a time. We're just a quick shameless plug here. I suppose we're hoping to go to Glendalough in about a week which will be only like €5 for members. And a lot of tours in Dublin, it's like €20 with bus return to Glendalough. So for €5, you're getting a good deal. And second semester, then we'll be hopefully going to Dublin Mountains, places like that. I don't know how in terms of how we can grow. It's just how we taking the first year, and then hopefully someone in the second year can take over from us if someone wants to keep it on.
Yeah. And what's the hardest part as a new society to get off your feet?
It's the kind of communication with Clubs and Socks isn't very good, to be honest. I hope they're not listening. But just in terms of they don't communicate things very well, and if we have a form to submit. You know, you're not here until the last minute, or you have to submit it a certain way. And I don't think it's kind of that. And then even just kind of spreading the word around and trying to, because you're a new society, you don't really have that kind of history of like stuff they can show them. Okay, we do this, we do that. You're kind of hoping that people actually have a bit of trust in you and hope that you will do things. Because I know there was an outdoor sock last year, I think, you know, infamously probably, that got like, I don't know, 100 members, and they didn't do one event all year, you know, so that was like everybody's 4 year down the drain. So we're hoping people just take us on good faith and know that we will, because I want to go on these trips, you know, so they will happen, because I'm going to be out there. I'm not going to just let people be, like, you know, not get anything with the society. So I kind of want to make sure that everything happens like that.
You're not going to take the 4 euro and run?
No, I'm not going to take the 4 euro one. I want to see the trips as well. So I'll be getting them for cheaper as well as other students. So, you know. Yeah. Okay,
that sounds deadly. Mark, thanks very much
for coming
on.
No worries at all. Anytime.
That was Mark there from Animal and Nature Sock. But right now on Barometer, we have DCU Anime and Manga Sock's PRO Luke Farley here to talk to us about Airticon, an anime convention here in Dublin. Thanks for coming along, Luke.
Thanks for having me.
So, in the case of you, for flukes sake. So, in case those of you at home don't know, DCU AMS has strong links to Airticon. So, can you tell me a little about those there?
We've been running it for about I think it's 11 years now. We are running out of Croke Park last 3 years now. We started here in the hub in DCU, and it just kind of grew from there. Really, it's a massive event. I think we all look forward to it every year. Yeah.
So, is it hard to do? You know, when you have to balance it with your studies and stuff.
It can get. I mean, sometimes it can be a bit time consuming. I mean, we're kind of lucky in the sense that we have an independent committee who actually does a lot of the, I suppose, organising and setting up for us. But we still have to meet every week, and we still have to liaison with them and check out what's going on, how it's running, and just kind of. So I suppose in that sense, we're lucky in the sense that we don't have a lot of the brunt of the work on us, but we still kind of balanced out.
Yeah. So do you have a lot to build on from last year, or how did last year's event go?
Last year's went pretty well. I think we had over 3,500 last year. Again, it was the third year we had it in Croke Park. This year we're looking to expand. Well, we have expanded up to 3 floors from the 2 we had last year.
Oh wow!
We had so many. I think we had about 700 pre-regs last year. This time, now we're up to 900. We had a few hundred artists. We've doubled that, I think, now this year as well. It's really grown a lot now in the last year, and we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
So, do you have any big names coming along for the?
I think the biggest one we have so far is Michelle Ruff, who did a few dubs in terms of for anime, such as I think she was in Bleach. Digimon was definitely our biggest one.
Oh wow.
We have Pyro and Badge, who are 2 YouTube Let's Players. I think they play Minecraft and a few other games. They have a panel. They're doing a few things. We have a few cosplayers. We have Nipa Dubs. He's very big on YouTube and on Instagram and stuff like that. And we have IAP and VIP, who are big J-pop stars, and they're coming along.
Oh wow! So it's a big thing for anything Japanese culture.
That's it. Yeah, it's a really big thing, and we all kind of look forward to it every year. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you get the money to run such a big event?
Well, one of the main things we do is we kind of fundraise throughout the year. We get a bit of help off the Students' Union here in DCU, and we've gotten, I suppose, a lot of the money left over from last year. We put that into a kind of a pot, and we use that for this year to kind of build upon it and kind of work it out. Yeah.
So it works out really nicely. So what date's it on?
It's this weekend. It starts on Friday, and then it ends on Sunday. I think it starts at 5 o'clock on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday it's all day until 8 or 9. Yeah.
So are there many tickets left, or is it?
Well, as I said, we have 900 pre-regs so far. We're still doing pre-reg up to the end of this week. Tickets will be at the door. You can buy from the individual days, or I think weekend tickets now up to, I think it's 35. That's cheaper than it was last year.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you can buy them at the door. You can still pre-reg on the website and show up on Saturday, Sunday, Friday, you know.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So what else is the Anime and Manga Sock doing these days? Or is it everything just concentrated on this?
Well, for the most part, I suppose coming up to Airticon, we have a lot of focus on it. But we're doing a lot of stuff like that. I mean, we have our Thursday event on every week, the Henry Grattan, where we meet up at 6 o'clock and we watch a few episodes, get a few pizza.
Yeah.
And we have good crack. It's really good banter. We've grown a lot since last year, which is really good. We have a major Into Sock event with JSock tomorrow. That's we have a Studio Ghibli event. We're going to be watching a few Ghibli movies. Really interesting. Really looking forward to it as well. I think we have about 60 people expected. it's going to be a really big, really enjoyable event. Yeah, so hopefully that'll go well.
See, the thing about anime and manga, it has a big mixture of people from all the faculties.
That's
like,
it, yeah.
compared to others.
That's it. I mean, you get a lot of science students, and then we have a lot of language students like myself. Engineering is also a big one as well.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly. What else do we have? Just mix from everything else, really. I think it's mainly the three: science, engineering, and then languages. That's how it's done, yeah.
Anyway, Luke, thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And I wish you all the best with Erticon.
Thanks.
So. Many of you were at the Clubs and Societies Fair in DCU's hub last week, and I'm sure you all seen the usual suspects like MPS, Journosoc, and no, actually I'm not supposed to mention them. But in case you didn't notice them down in the venue, an intriguing new community is gathering in the university under the banner of DCU Spoken Word Society. And right now we have the chair Zainab on the mic. Thanks for coming on, Zainab.
No problem.
What made you want to set this up?
Well, I had very selfish intentions at the start. I was surprised at first that DCU didn't already have a spoken word society, considering it's really big in UCD, Maynooth, and other colleges around Dublin. And like they seem to be like this. Other societies seem to be the societies that were entering into varsity events outside of college events and entering like big slam poetry sessions. Yeah. And I was just surprised that DCU didn't have that group already set up. So I decided to set it up. Mostly because I wanted to find other people who were also interested in it, so I could also enter these competitions.
And did you find there was a hunger for this sort of
There
society?
was a lot of people. Yeah, I tried to set it up at the end of last year, but it was way too late. But a lot of people said, oh, they were interested in something like this. They've always wanted to learn about it, or even they just wanted to come along and watch because they enjoy watching it. Because it's a pretty big like underground thing in Dublin. Because I think Dublin always had a history of like literature and poetry, as you all know yourself. And spoken word poetry is just kind of like this modern phenomenon that's kind of taking over the Dublin scene. Like a lot of people consider it a hipster type of thing to get into, which sometimes it is because the people that do attend these poetry events are kind of that like group. But like it's attracting such a wide range of young audiences as young as 13, and usually you'd be used to seeing people of an older category attending these events. So when I started up in DCU, we got 35 sign-ups, which I thought was reasonable considering it is a new society. And a lot of people that did come along either have had experience in spoken word or are just interested in learning how to write it.
So do you think this could help it grow, the whole spoken word thing in DCU? I
think it could definitely help it grow. I said to a lot of people at Clubs and Socks that they don't have to have experience to join the society, because I think that was the assumption at first. I said to them that I've only ever written poetry, but I've never actually performed live. And a lot of people in the society are just interested in learning how to write properly, and like society is mostly to help people write and also be confident in their performance. We actually have a professional poet called Stephen Clare who's just joined DCU this year, but he actually took 2 years out of school to basically spread his name in the spoken word society scene.
Oh, really?
And he's pretty professional in what he does, and I've heard some of his stuff online, and it's pretty good. And he knows a lot of people in the spoken word society, so I'm hoping like having him on the society is more of an asset, and it could definitely help it grow in DCU.
He'll definitely be a draw anyway.
Yeah.
And what kind of events do you plan to run? Are you going to have workshops? Or
we're going to definitely have workshops, and the workshops we're trying to like bring people in from the scene so they can help us. They can give positive criticism and tell us how to write our poems better. And also for performances, we're hoping to bring in last year's InterVarsity Poetry Slam winner, Indy Campbell. Like, her poems were beautiful, and she's kind of also new in the scene. We're hoping to have her in, and she's more than happy to come in and help our society, considering she's in Maynooth, and it's such a big thing in Maynooth. So many people are part of that society, so hopefully that attracts attention. We're also hoping to do something that's just still like run an idea. We're hoping to have flash poetry events on campus. So it's literally could just be standing on a little podium outside and just a megaphone and just reciting poetry. We actually have something in Pat's on Wednesday that's similar to that. We have we're just going to be in Pat's, maybe 4 people. Mel Kavanagh, we have her in DCU. She was actually part of Brave New Voice. They went to America last year. And they were phenomenal for Irish students who were like just new into the slam poetry scene. We're hoping to have that event in Pat's on Wednesday, and hopefully that goes well.
It's going to be great for intervarsity sort of.
Yeah, that's definitely our goal. Like the way I would love to see DCU maybe take a title in the InterVarsity Poetry Slam. That would be the absolute goal for me right now.
Yeah, that would be the best possible start, really.
That would be the best. Yeah.
But what would be the hardest part as a new society to get off your feet? feet?
As a new society, I think it's just to raise the presumptions that people have that, oh, you have to be really big into poetry or you have to really know what you're doing. Because a lot of people who are joining the society are just interested in learning, and that's the most important thing for the society right now, getting people involved, getting people interested, getting people even just coming to watch the poetry events. Like, that's, and people taking us seriously as a society, that's another thing I think that could be a hard start of the society. Yeah.
Zainab, thanks very much for coming on the show.